Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Sean from PlanningFire.com. Round here, just after Labor Day. By the time this video goes up, well past Labor Day. But I hope everyone's having a great day. If you just had a long weekend as well, great. Hope you're feeling large and in charge and recharged, ready for work. We're back with the Rich Dad Poor Dad review series. Welcome to what is really the final lesson, Lesson 8, Getting Started. They give a great list here of just different venues and facets to really drive home your ability to get started. It's not a step-by-step guide, but more of a general code of ideas and motivators to get you started. So what you really do need to get started is your finance brain. By reading this book and being part of these conversations, you're already developing it more than most people will in their entire careers. Because schools don't teach finance. They don't teach the ability to become independently wealthy. They teach people to become excellent employees. But these are the 10 steps they cover. 1. Find a reason greater than reality. The power of spirit. That's not necessarily religious spirit, though it certainly could be. It comes down to determining why you want to do something. If you don't have a good reason, you're never going to execute on it. Number 2, make daily choices and the power of choice. And that really comes down to you can choose to waste time or you can choose to do something. Whether that's investing early, starting your own business, the more you do and the more often you do it, the better. For example, prior to this, I had plenty of business ideas that I never executed on. Now I have this blog, I have this forum, I have the ability to talk to you, and I've also started my first small business. It really does help to just get up and do something, even if it fails. You'll notice serial entrepreneurs are constantly doing something and constantly getting the next thing ready. Number 4, mastering a formula and learning a new one. The power of learning quickly. Basically, once you've got something down, it's time to move on to something new. The last thing you want is for your brain to grow dormant and not used to learning things. It can be very difficult to get out of a slump. For example, you haven't done much lately, you may have to get up and move around so that way your body can get used to it again. It's very difficult to go from stopped to started. Number 5, pay yourself first, the power of self-discipline. You need to be able to control yourself and your spending, especially when you're just starting out on either a small business venture or perhaps a real estate investing plan. Keeping expenses as low as you can while keeping income as high as you can is obviously going to get you there a lot faster than having those balanced in any other way. If you're spending a lot and you're making a lot, you're not saving a lot. If you're not spending much but you're not making much, you're also not going to save much. So make sure you have that self-discipline and that pay yourself first mentality. This one seems a little counterintuitive, but it's number 6, the power of good advice. Pay your brokers well. Now, this really does come down to the fact that a good broker should, in theory, make you more money than he cost you. So if you have a good real estate broker, they should be making you more money by finding you better deals than you may have found yourself. A good tax accountant, for example, should save you more money than he charges you to do your taxes. Now, before you hire any expert, ask them what their holdings look like. What does your personal finance setup look like? If they're not willing to answer this question, perhaps it's not good for you to go into business with them. You want to find someone who's on the same page as you. For example, I have real estate. If I find someone to do my taxes, I want to make sure that they understand the tax advantage real estate plan. If they don't, and they lose me all of those opportunities, that's not someone I want to work with. Now, this one's going to be a little controversial, but I'm going to take it right off the pages of the book. They say, number 7, be an Indian giver, the power of getting something for nothing. And really what it comes down to is when you are going to give away your cash, whether that's to an investment, to a friend to start a business, what have you, know exactly what your return on investment could look like and how quickly you're going to get that initial capital back. It really is an important question. If you could tie up, say, $50,000 in a 6-month real estate play that's going to give you 10%, that's a great investment compared to something where you're lending $50,000 but you only see 10% in 5 years. Knowing this up front is going to help you make sound decisions. Now, number 8 is use assets to buy luxuries. The power of focus. So there's a very great story that I loved in this book that was a dad wanted to help his kid buy his first car. And he was like, I don't just want to give him the money because that's not going to teach him the right lesson. What can I do? And so Robert, the author, recommended that you give your son X amount of dollars. Tell him he can use that to buy the car. However, he can't use those dollars to buy the car. He has to use those dollars to do something that will then make him money to buy the car. So what he actually did was help his son. His son decided he wanted to open a brokerage account and start trading stocks. So he did that. Took $3,000, put it into the stock market. Now, he almost immediately lost all of it because he was just picking and choosing stocks. He didn't know what he was doing. But the research taught him a lot. At the end of this experiment, he almost showed no interest in buying the car anymore, but did show more interest in the stock market. That lesson is going to take that kid much farther than $3,000 to buy a used car. Number 9, Choose Heroes, The Power of Myth. Now, not necessarily in this book, but in other books that I've read on this topic, one thing that really does ring home, and they really drive home, is mentorship. There is some topics about this in the book, but in reality, mentors are so important. If you have someone that you want to reach out to because they have the career you have, they have the blog you want, they have whatever it is that drives you to think of them as a mentor, don't be afraid to reach out. If you don't try to communicate with this person, email, phone call, what have you, set up a lunch date perhaps, you will absolutely not speak with them. You'd be surprised how many people are willing to reply to you if you have some questions. Honestly, if there's someone that you really look up to, try to get in touch with them. Ask them a few questions. You'd be surprised what you can get to. But make sure you choose and value powerful mentors. For example, if you're into wholesome stockbroking, perhaps you want to follow Warren Buffett. If you want to do day trading, find a great day trader that you can look up to. But that way you have someone who you can model yourself after. Just be sure you're choosing the right ones. And then that kind of comes up to number 10. Teach and you shall receive. The power of giving. And that really comes down to if you have something and you can absolutely help someone out, there is no cost to answering a question. So if you have the ability to mentor, give it a shot, give back to someone, help them figure it out too. So that's their 10 steps to getting started. Basically a great way to end the book. If you want to read this along with me, I have the link down in the description below. Just know it is an affiliate link, so I get paid whenever you buy the book. It doesn't cost you any more, but it does help support the channel. Really, I've loved this book. It's the one I talk about with my friends casually on the weekend. It's something I've gotten a lot of family and friends to pick up because frankly, it teaches great lessons, it tells a great story. So I'm Sean at planningfire.com. That was The Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I hope you enjoyed this series. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, like this content, subscribe to me if you can, and hit that notification bell to get all of my content up front. Also, if you're reading this along with me, join the discussion on planningfire.com. I look forward to having everybody. I hope you guys have had a great Labor Day weekend. I know I have. Until next time, take care, everyone.